Hello and welcome to a brand new show that we are bringing to you, the players of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. My name is Ed.
My name is Ibris, and I'm very happy to be joined by Ed for the first edition of This Month in Master Duel.
Now, This Month in Master Duel is an exciting new visual, spicy medium that we're trying to bring you guys to update you on everything that's recently come to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Quite a lot has actually come quite recently as well.
Yeah, we had some really cool card editions in the selection packs, the secret packs, and of course we have some really exciting events currently taking place.
We have the Duelist Cup right now, which if you've managed to get to Duelist level 20, if you guys between the 14th and the 17th have managed to reach that, you'll be able to get into stage 2. Have you got to 20 yet? I don't think I've reached double digits.
Well, that's a story for another day, Ed. I know that the aim of the game for a lot of people is to get to Duelist level 20 and qualify for that stage 2. At this point, I'd be happy with getting to Duelist level 18.
I mean, I don't know if I could even hold a candle to Duelist level 20, but some of you at home may, and now is the right time to be doing that because as of the 14th, you'll be into stage 2. So grind away and see exactly what happens. So we've got plenty coming up in this show, which is really exciting. We're going to be discussing some of the recently released packs, which is something I know all of you are very interested to see. We actually also have a duel featuring two of our amazing European content creators, and we'll also be discussing some of the new cards that have been released and some of the ways that they synergize with some of the decks that are currently in the meta. There's some really, really amazing stuff. We also have a bundle or two to talk about, which we'll come back to later. But before then, Ibris, I'm going to set you a challenge. So I want you, in ideally under 60 seconds,
Ideally,
to sum up what has recently come to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
how recent is the question?
From the end of
because we've had
October.
a lot of stuff come.
From the end of
end of
October.
October.
So basically the last 6-7 weeks-ish?
Okay,
Yeah, sound good? Okay.
I think so.
Your time starts now.
So, end of October, we had the Record of Noble Spirits selection pack with Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames. Really, really cool card. Then at the start of November, we had Singularity Warrior. Now, that had the Firewall Dragon Singularity, of course. It's in the name. The Nouvelles archetype, and of course the Vanquish Soul archetype that a lot of these competitors in the Duelist Cup will have played or played against. Since November, we also had a very exciting campaign begin in the game with some very exciting content that I'm sure we'll touch on later.
Absolutely.
And at the start of December, just last week, we had the selection pack for Mighty Contenders, bringing back a lot of cool cards previously on the Forbidden Limited list, and the selection pack beginning of the next journey.
Okay, I'd say I'm hoping that was 60. There's still, apparently you still had 15 seconds on screen, so you actually managed to sum that up pretty well. So let's go through some of those. Selection packs, secret packs, other stuff. So beginning of the next journey and Mighty Contenders. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, so as we mentioned before, Mighty Contenders did have some really cool cards coming off of the Forbidden Limited list. Beginning of the next journey, though, that is the one that brought a lot of the newer cards to Master Duel. Face of that pack, Albion, the Sanctifier Dragon, really, really prominent card in the branded deck. You had the introduction of the Monadium archetype as well, and a Ghost from the Past in the form of the Gate Guardians now making their triumphant return.
Which I know a lot of people who are into classic era Yu-Gi-Oh! Are definitely going to love. But you're right, it's really exciting seeing the releases of things like Monadium coming to the fray, because we've seen those in TCG. That's always really exciting to then see that very soon coming to Master Duel.
So actually mentioning seeing things in TCG prior, I did want to touch on the Record of Noble Spirits pack that we mentioned from the end of October, because of course that was the reveal of Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames.
An OCG exclusive.
Exactly, released in the OCG with the Phantom Nightmare, then coming to Master Duel pretty soon after.
Which is very exciting. And also we had Record of Noble Spirit, Singularity Warrior, and that was when you said Vanquish Souls came along. And a lot of people recently know Vanquish Souls came out in Wild Survivors relatively recently. So having that come all the way to Master Duel very soon after the physical release is actually really exciting. So knowing all this, there's also the secret pack, the Dragon Kings from the Abyss, that you wanted to touch on.
Yeah, so Dragon Kings from the Abyss arrived to Master Duel last week with beginning of the next journey and Mighty Contenders, as well as another secret pack, the Bizarre Playing Board. Now, Dragon Kings from the Abyss has the Bestial archetype, that really, really iconic, very prominent series of cards that honestly have just been a staple of the meta since they arrived.
Absolutely, and we've seen that again. This is another one of those archetypes that we've seen really rampage through the TCG. So seeing it come back to Master Duel, really exciting.
Yeah, not only are they very good in their dedicated deck, but they function within other decks pretty fluidly. We mentioned just how prominent some of these cards can be. The Bestial Lubellion, Bestial Druisworm, of course, being a pseudo DD Crow, just being able to cause some disruption by banishing a light or a dark from your opponent's graveyard. Really, really cool, and having some fairly formidable stats on top of that. Yeah.
They're actually really good, and seeing all these come is really exciting, and also it's exciting to see the kind of things that will still come. But we mentioned Gate Guardian, we mentioned that kind of throwback, but there's a really exciting throwback which is currently available to all of you guys. Before we go into more detail, we have a little bit of a video to show you on a bundle that you can get your hands on. How exciting is that? Look at that, the big Slifer the Sky Dragon bundle with that amazing alternate art wreathed in lightning, which you can get your hands on right now.
Yeah, really exciting to celebrate 25 years of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games, and seeing that in Master Duel with that campaign. Alternate art Egyptian gods, sorry, really, really cool to see.
Really cool, and like you said, 25 years, I've even got the 25th anniversary pin on. That's how much we're celebrating that here. But the 25 years anniversary bundle is really exciting to get, so if you do that right now, you get 25 master packs, you get an icon of Slifer the Sky Dragon, you get the card protectors with Slifer the Sky Dragon, you get a dual field, and also you get the Slifer in a royal finish, which is just the most glorious card ever. I love the royal finish in Master Duel, it's really exciting.
Yeah, really beautiful card there, and speaking of beautiful cards and Egyptian gods, you can get the Obelisk the Tormentor right now by logging in.
It's as simple as that. If you're not sure whether you've logged in for a while, or maybe you're trying to start the game for the first time, there is not a better time to get involved in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel than right now. Simply log in and you'll get 1,000 free gems, the Obelisk card in that royal finish, and also you'll get the icon as well. So you'll be able to show that off to all the other duelists as you work your way through ranked play. Will you be utilizing the god cards in ranked? Only time will tell. But yeah, having that Slifer bundle, amazing, seeing Slifer the Sky Dragon in all that, which we mentioned, the alternate art. We then also have Obelisk in this alternate art, but there is a third card that we need to mention.
And that is, of course, the Winged Dragon of Ra, which you can find in the secret pack, The Ones Who Serve Ra.
Which is absolutely incredible. And look at this, just look at this next to me. You can see the amazing, giant, golden, wreathed in flame alternate art of this. And I really love this. And obviously, the classic artworks that we all know and love from the old Egyptian gods, still very good. But there's something really powerful about these. Just seeing how much it's bellowing flames or bellowing lightning and bellowing dust. Things like that are really cool.
So it's very cool that you mentioned the alternate artworks and the original artworks, because both versions of the gods all got summoning animations with this update, and they all got finishing move animations as well.
And they look so good.
Yeah, honestly, they do. Once you reduce your opponent's life points to 0, yeah,
that's it. You get the big old animation, and it's so worth doing. If not to build a deck around that, there's nothing else that you're going to want to use, you know. Being able to see the amazing animations, you really feel like you're playing through classic era Yu-Gi-Oh! See what you can do with building those right now. So you can get the Slifer bundle right now, which again, 25 master packs, the icon, the card protectors, the dual field, and Slifer in the royal finish. Obelisk, again, all you have to do is log in. What can you get with Obelisk?
So with Obelisk, you get the card of Obelisk the Tormentor, you get a total of 1,000 gems, and you get the icon of Obelisk as well, all in this fantastic alternate artwork.
And look at that. Look at the serious power and almost silhouetting against the sky. I think that's amazing. And then, obviously, the Winged Dragon of Ra, you'll have to pull from the Ones Who Serve Ra secret pack. And that's really, really just... I'm so happy with that. But there's also more in the secret pack, isn't there? There's cards which actually really lend some support to the Winged Dragon of Ra, which means you have an ability to sort of build a deck around it, which you could play in the casual pools, you could play in some events, or you could even try your hand at taking it into ranked.
Absolutely, and I'm really happy to see the amount of support that this card has got. In addition to that, there is, of course, Keldo in this pack as well. Yes. Really fantastic card that did see a lot of play earlier in the year when the Tier Elements cards were more popular in the format.
And it's really, I know people are going to be very excited or devastated to see that Keldo is going to be making that appearance. One of those shufflers from the famous Ishizu cards, which, like you say, has absolutely incredible synergy when it comes to Tier Elements, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of that. But the fact that you can get that as well as the Winged Dragon of Ra, also you get all these other cards as well. I'm really happy to see the sort of retread of Apophis as well. Apophis, the swamp deity, which I know, you've seen it before in another guise as a trap card.
Embodiment of Apophis, of course, being one of those more iconic trap monsters, as it were. Just seeing it in a modern kind of
setting. Exactly. It's a retread, a refresh. It's nice to always have these kind of cards freshened up. But, I mean, just look at these. You guys can try your hand at pulling some of these in various rarities as well that you might find. It all comes down to the luck of the draw. Quite literally. And speaking of draw, right now, if you guys head over to our X or our Instagram, you guys can take part in a giveaway. Those handles are at Yu-Gi-Oh! Card EU. And if you go on there, you have the ability to get an Egyptian God alternate art game mat. See? A draw. Like drawing to see if you can win, and you'll draw cards off the game mat. Here it is. You can see it now. I was gesturing the wrong way, but here it is.
So more information on how to win that, please do head on over to those relevant SNS accounts. Really beautiful artwork there, of course. Once you log into Master Duel, you'll see the 3 Egyptian gods in those alternate artworks, and this is that on a physical mat.
It was really nice. You'd be able to take Master Duel to the real world with these amazing Egyptian God cards. So make sure you guys head over to at Yu-Gi-Oh! Card EU on X or Instagram to make sure that you guys can take part in that. So we have plenty more to discuss because, for instance, there are new cards which we have to talk about. So there's the selection pack beginning of the next journey. And that's really exciting because there's a lot of cards in here related to Branded or Monadium and things, and it really adds some amazing synergies. So one of them that you mentioned earlier was Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. So let's talk about that. How does that really fit in with the Branded decks?
So Albion the Sanctifier Dragon is essentially now a good card to put at the end of the Branded combo. It runs a lot of disruption and mildly inconveniences your opponent depending on what you can summon to their side of the field with it. Typically we've seen Ra's Disciple to tie it into that Egyptian god narrative.
Yes, exactly.
But also we've seen the likes of Gimmick Puppet Nightmare and other cards, because essentially what this monster does is it summons something from your graveyard to your opponent's side of the field. And if you can lock them out of special summoning for the turn, if you can do something like that to just throw them off slightly through disruption, that is pretty much the game won.
Which is very exciting, and I know a lot of Branded players are going to be very pleased with this. We see Branded, actually, it's an incredibly fun-to-play deck, and it sees an awful lot of play in Master Duel, in both ranked and casual, so seeing Albion come is very exciting, and I'm sure Branded players will be very happy with that. We also have more Monadium cards, so we have Monadium Prime Heart, which I know is one that you are very fond of as well.
So this is essentially the debut of the Monadium archetype in Master Duel, and it's very exciting to see where the next chapter of Visa's Starfrost journey takes him.
Everyone likes the Visa Starfrost lore, and seeing that journey across all the different archetypes.
The archetypes are fantastic, honestly. Telements, Kashtira, Scareclaw. There is a lot going on there, and this is another chapter in that book.
And then we also have Vicious Astrolaud, which is another one that works with Monadium.
Yeah, so essentially what Vicious Astrolaud can do is allow you to more easily access removal tools from the extra deck, and it lets you access the higher level synchro monsters that the Monadium decks benefit from having. Essentially, because Monadium Prime Heart is level 10, you can use a level 2 tuner with this to get to there, Or you could also go into something like Baron de Fleur, something like that, just to really control the game with higher level synchros.
Which is always really exciting. It's nice to be able to see those, because yeah, Ringo Worm, the dragon guarding 100 apples, which is one of my favourite names of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Because I now wonder what the 100 apples are, more than I think about the dragon, but that's more of that, like you say, the generic synchro extender sort of thing.
Exactly, and the effect just allows you to reach that higher level of synchro summons more easily. For example, as we mentioned before, Baron de Fleur, if not something archetypical to the kind of deck that you're using it in, whether that's Sword Soul, whether it's Menadium, something like that.
So a lot of people are going to be seeing on the screen right now, we've got various examples of those combos. So this is now where we're talking about how these synergies all work together and ways that you can combo off of these. So normal summoning, banishing Sword Soul Emergence, summon a Sword Soul token, and then special summon, Ringo. I almost said Druid's Worm. I mean Ringo Worm. So these are the kind of things that we're talking about. And that generic synchro extender is really useful. But that's not the end, because we have the Gate Guardians combined, which I know we saw fairly recently in the TCG, but now taking off from the, the throwback nature of going to the Egyptian God cards, we get another throwback to the Gate Guardians. Talk to us a bit about Gate Guardians Combined, the new fusion.
So Gate Guardians Combined has essentially 3 components to it: Sanga of the Thunder, Kazujin, Suijin, like your classic Gate Guardian. And in light of those 3 components, it has 3 negates per turn. Not per chain, so you can activate that multiple times in the same chain as long as you're within that 3 count for the turn. Once it's removed from the field as well, it lets you access another Gate Guardian monster, whether that's the OG himself in your deck, or it is the lower level ones from your...
That's pretty exciting. So that's a really good way of bringing that all together. And for some people who just really love that classic era Yu-Gi-Oh, that's exactly the sort of thing that you want. You really want to be able to throw those into your deck and feel like you've got something really good. So those are some of the amazing synergy cards that we've seen with Albion, Menadium Primeheart, Vicious Astrolord, Ringo Worm, and of course Gate Guardians combined. And there's plenty more. So you guys can get that pack now, which is the beginning of the next journey. So make sure you guys do go and check that out, which is such an exciting thing to have. So we're going to be right back in just a moment, because we've got plenty more content coming your way here in This Month in Master Duel. Welcome back to this month in Master Duel. So, as we've said, the point of this show is to take you through some of the things that have recently come out in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And obviously we've just talked about quite a lot of them, including that 25th anniversary bundle.
Yeah, and now moving on from there, we do have the selection pack, beginning of the next journey that came out last week, and the individual cards that were released with that. Very, very exciting.
And we've talked a little bit about the individual cards just before the break, but something that we really want to talk about and show you some visuals of are some of the synergies with those. So the first card that we want to talk about is Albion, because Albion the Sanctified Dragon, or Sanctifier Dragon, has a really great synergy with Branded.
And this essentially fits in as the end goal for most branded decks now. Essentially, you want to use the Aluba Jester of Despia with the Branded Fusion, and then create Albion the Sanctifier Dragon via Fusion Summon. Once that's on the field, it's a matter of getting something out of your graveyard onto your opponent's side of the field, or extending further and getting some more Fusion Summons down to get out something like the Mirror Jade the Iceblade Dragon. As we mentioned earlier, there was the potential to mildly inconvenience your opponent by seeing just what it was you could summon to their side of the field, whether that's Ra's Disciple so that they can't summon, or whether that's Gimmick Puppet Nightmare so that they're locked into Gimmick Puppet for the remainder of the turn.
This is why I like having you here, Ibra, is you know your stuff when it comes to the Branded. So, that's the Albion synergy with Branded, and that was a really great example of some of the ways that it works into it. Some of you more experienced Branded players will already know how Albion fits into that, but it's always exciting to see it just in case.
Yeah, exactly, and he does fill a void that was left by Branded Expulsion becoming forbidden, and really just helps reinforce a strategy and bring it back to the top of the competitive standings.
Exactly, and speaking of competitive standings, one of those archetypes that we're seeing a lot of right now is Monadium, and obviously there were a couple of cards that worked into the Monadium stuff with Monadium Prime Heart and also Vicious Astrolaud.
So what I really like about the Monadium deck is the fact that you are rewarded for destroying your lower level tuners, whether that means getting a Monadium Meek out, getting it to level 4, and then essentially just climbing to that higher level of synchro. I've seen something else really cool with this deck, which is Elemental Hero Prisma making a return via A Hero Lives. Essentially, you reveal the Vicious Astrolaud that you mentioned before in your extra deck, send the Visa Starfrost to copy the name of that, and then get a Synchro Summon into a level 10, whether that's Monadium Prime Heart or something else with utility such as the Baron de Fleur to just further disrupt your opponent.
And these are really important strategies, because especially if you're going to try and get one of those generic synchro extenders into your combos, knowing how it fits in with Monadium and, you know, Vicious Astrolaud and things, or even, excuse me, Ringo Worm, the dragon guarding 100 apples, things like that are really useful to understand with that. So that's another one we want to talk about.
Yeah, speaking of Ringo Worm, just seeing how it fits into existing synchro archetypes and just reinforces, again, ones that needed the support, such as Sword Soul. Here you have an example of how it can work with Sword Soul Emergence, Sword Soul of Tyre, and then essentially just, again, synchro climb into some of the more formidable monsters that do help bring Sword Soul victory.
I also really do love the art of Ringo Worm. There's something about the sort of circular nature, the big old glowing wings.
The circular nature.
Well, look at it. It's got a big... Is that not a circle that it's making with between its head and its tail and its moustache? No.
I think it's an apple?
Well, yeah, but apples are a circle. Ibris, help me out here, man. Okay. Throw me a bone. But I really like how it looks. I think...
Throw you an apple.
Throw me an apple, exactly. See, we're already on the wavelength. But I really like these cards. I like how they look, and I really like how they play. And it's really nice to see that these cards have really made their way in here and have such a feasible synergy with some of the cards that are already out.
And speaking of how they play, I believe we will see some of these in action later on.
We certainly will, and that's going to be exciting. But before that, a quick reminder. If you guys head to @Yu-Gi-Oh! Card EU on either X or Instagram, you guys can take part in an amazing giveaway where you can win this game mat, a physical game mat for you to add to your collection. Now, I don't know about you, Ibris, but my collection of game mats is starting to overflow. But this, I would like to add to my collection. Look at these arts. I love the alternate artworks, and the fact that you get to see 3 of them really dominating the space on your game mat, I think is really great. I want this.
Yeah, you couldn't have picked monsters more emblematic of Yu-Gi-Oh! Than the Egyptian gods for the mat that celebrates 25 years of Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games. This is exactly what you see when you log into Master Duel right now. This is what you'll see throughout the duration of the campaign for the 25th anniversary of the card game. And it's beautiful.
It really is. And the fact that we know all the classic artwork of the gods sort of makes this so refreshing in a way, seeing that game map, because we're very used to that iconic artwork, but to have it slightly spiced up with the new alternate artwork for me is really exciting, and I would love to have that on a game mat. So, like we said, make sure you head over to @Yu-Gi-Oh! Card EU on either X or Instagram to be in with your chance of winning that physical game mat to really bring Master Duel to the real world for you. Now, speaking of Master Duel in the real world, we mentioned earlier, in fact just before we talked about the giveaway, that we had an amazing duel between two of our wonderful EU content creators.
And two of our most prominent content creators in the scene, of course. You may have seen them at the Influencer Invitational last year. You may have seen them in the Challenger Cup initiative that we've been running throughout Europe. Honestly, I'm very happy to see Schattenspieler play Branded against Colossa playing Manadium.
It's really nice, and actually for us this is a perfect display of having those new synergies brought to life in a duel that you guys can see. But we'll be right back with a little break before we jump into that duel. Welcome back. You're joining us here with this month in Master Duel. So, we've talked about this already. This is a show where we're talking about the things that have recently come to Master Duel. We've talked about a lot of the synergies from some of the secret packs and selection packs that have come out, as well as our amazing 25th anniversary bundle. But, just before the break, we mentioned a duel that we're having.
We did indeed mention a duel, and we mentioned the selection pack beginning of the next journey in particular, and the fantastic cards contained within. This duel will also contain said fantastic cards.
Always good to have those, isn't it? So Manadium and Branded, two things that are really being shown off by some of the cards and synergies that are coming out at the moment. And we have two of our amazing European content creators who have come together for a duel. We have Schattenspieler from Germany and Colossa from Italy, who have come together with those decks to battle it out.
And Schattenspieler made a name for himself playing Branded, so this is definitely going to be a treat to watch. Colossa as well, a finalist at the first Master Duel Influencer Invitational last year. Really excited to see what happens.
It's great. And let's have a look and let's see exactly what happens between our two amazing content creators.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, then
Good game,
let's
bro.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do waiting for the opponent.
Point us. Yeah, you think so?
Right, so here we go. Already seeing a fantastic display from the Branded deck. Immediately, Schattenspieler showing why he knows so much about Branded.
And I'd really like to see the Called by the Grave in the hand here, just because it's insurance that your Branded fusion doesn't get affected by the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, as it tends to do.
I know a lot of people still seeing Max C will throw them off when they're used to the TCG, but in Master Duel it really does add something to it. But there we see Bestial Rebellion as well. And then we're going straight in to that Albion, the Branded Dragon fusion, as we start climbing our way towards Mirror Jade.
Actually very fun to see the Gaia the Dragon Champion
Yes,
make an appearance
yeah.
on the side of the screen once the fusion summon does come through.
Got two Gaias on screen as well.
Two very extra deck focused decks.
Absolutely.
So Quem does not resolve. However, this fusion does.
You see Schattenspieler thinking through his move. He's decided not to go for that. Is he going to go for the Mirror Jade instead? He's going to run down that timer. Everyone who plays Master Duel knows the stress of seeing a physical timer that's going to judge you on every decision you
Actually,
make.
he's going for Albion the Sanctifier Dragon.
So we get to see a display of the card that we've been talking about only minutes ago here in this stream.
There it is, the cover card of Beginning of the Next Journey.
Which is available now.
Mm-hmm.
You guys might be able to get this card for yourself to add to your Branded deck.
There is the Bestial Rebellion, who is, of course, also available in Dragon Kings from the Abyss Secret Pack.
They're going to activate the effect there. We get a continuous spell or trap.
Mm-hmm. Foolish Burial. Again, just to note that we do still have the Called by the Grave in the hand to act as an insurance policy against a potential Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
We're definitely seeing a pretty staple sight in Master Duel. Someone spending a very distinct amount of time building an incredibly fearsome field. But then we go over to Colossa.
So actually very interesting, the Gimmick Puppet is in the graveyard here. It will be super interesting to see whether or not the Albion the Sanctifier Dragon targets that to lock Colossa out of summoning, or there's an additional fusion summon through the Aluba.
And then we see that Branded in red getting set as well. So pretty fearsome field there from Schattenspieler. So now we're going to see the effect of Albion the Sanctifier Dragon, which... it's already kicking off.
That is Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, and if this summon successfully resolves, which it looks like it may have, or is about to.
Colossa hasn't been able to play a card yet.
Essentially now, the opponent is locked into only summoning Gimmick Puppet monsters for the rest of the turn, and this effect is perpetual. It lasts even if you somehow manage to get rid of that card from your side of the field. And yeah, the entire turn is essentially locked for summoning for Colossa.
Goodness. Okay, let's see how Colossa manages to deal with this then.
Even if you don't factor in the fact that there's the lock into Gimmick Puppet monsters only, it's still a pretty formidable board to have to deal with.
I don't know how you even begin to out a field like this when you're not allowed to summon anything. Although, there it goes, which means Colossa has found a way to get rid of it. But there we see Visa Starfrost.
Yeah, so Visa Starfrost summoned to the field here. Not too much else that you can do with that, given the fact that the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare is still applicable here. So the special summons are locked to Gimmick Puppet monsters.
See Branded in red getting activated there. We give a Despian Tragedy. Okay, we're going to see. Are we going to see Queritus?
Most likely, yes. And that will reduce the attack points to 0 of Visa Starfrost, you have to imagine, and therefore make this even more of a difficult situation for
Good
Colossa.
lord, the synergy of this. Oh god, I love the art style. It's such a cool card art. I love seeing the summon animations. Okay, Branded Lost being activated. Poor Colossa, that card, Visa Starfrost just floating there at this point. Waiting for the moment.
So the Tri-Brigade Mercurio, of course, an option, but Albion the Shrouded Dragon going to be the choice instead. Despian
Tragedy. There's so much synergy in the Branded deck. Colossa's going, this is my turn.
Battle phase, even.
Yeah. And there was nothing to be done there. Cancel the attack. Call off the attack. That Queritus is too strong. Didn't activate the effect though, so move in back into Schattenspieler's turn. Good grief. Now,
you can see he's laughing to himself. He knows that
this is probably game. Probably game. Plenty of things to activate as well. Just sending one of those traps to the graveyard. And then Branded Retribution. Banish from the grave to bring another Branded Fusion to the hand.
Again, still holding on to the Called by the Grave in case of the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring.
I will say, this is the kind of field that Max C would have been very discouraging against. The amount of special summons and things. Just throw down a Max C or throw an Ash Blossom on that Branded Fusion.
The thing is, if you Max C the Branded deck, they will just wait until your turn to do their special summons instead.
That's a good point. Okay. Can anything happen with this Visa Starfrost, or is Colossa simply going to admit that this is... Oh! Well, we do see an infinite impermanence there on Fallen of Albaz. But we're probably going to see an immediate chain. No? Okay. No, we aren't.
It
just going to let it happen. It's not going to do too much, but because it was set, that entire column has now been affected.
Now
he's just having a double check
to make sure.
See more of those Bestial cards coming down.
Again, Dragon Kings from
And
the
there's
Abyss.
Max C. Did I or did I not, Ibris, mention that Max C would be coming?
Will Called by the Grave
No,
be
no Called by
activated?
the Grave. Shattenspieler must be waiting for the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Otherwise, because whenever you Ash Branded Fusion, that's a really difficult thing to get around. Although, with a field like this, it's not going to matter. Look at this. Look at this. Just going to attack over everything.
I think that adds up to more than 8,000. It does. Just to clarify.
Okay. I think you might be right. My maths might be a little bit poor, Ibris, but I think I see game on the field here. And there it is. Final blow. Well, okay. Shattenspieler managed to absolutely dominate that. I think by the looks of it, Colosser only managed to get out Visa Starfrost and set one Infinite Impermanence.
Again,
Although
it's
one Max C as well.
really difficult to overcome the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare being summoned to your side of the
Yes.
field, especially when it's on your first turn. You have no chance to set up. Yeah, really, really well played by Shattenspieler, though.
A really good display of just how much synergy that branded deck has. And actually, it's things like this that made me build a branded deck in Master Duel myself, actually. I know. I am a Dino player through and through. But when you see a deck that has as much synergy or just kind of fun playstyles as branded, I kind of wanted to build that. I even built one in real life as well, actually, because I was that appealed by the synergy. I had friends tutor me on how to play it.
So, typically to deal with that, you want to use Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring to disrupt the Branded Fusion.
Yes,
but of
big
course, you
time,
saw
yeah.
the Called by the Grave was in the hand as well.
Yes.
So,
It was not,
that was
basically,
resolving regardless.
She had no chance there against Shattenspieler, unfortunately. But that's not the only duel that we have. We have a second duel, second match with them. So maybe in this one we get to see a little bit more of the Monadium display against the branded deck.
Colosser taking on Shattenspieler in our second duel.
Let's see what happens. Can Monadium outdo
Yeah.
the branded fusion this time? We'll have to see.
I think.
Now that's a branded fusion in hand immediately to start with, as well as Foolish Burial. That's quite a strong start.
In addition to that, because you started with Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous, it means that you have access to Granguignol the Dusk Dragon, which will then help you get the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare to your graveyard, and therefore allow you to set up for that combo with the Albion again.
That being said, we've seen the Max C from Colosser right there, which means might just discourage a little bit of Shattenspieler's special summoning. For instance, there's another card, and that's going to probably help her draw into the Ash Blossom. Does she have an Ash Blossom as a response to Brand of Fusion? Are we going to see the Ash Blossom come down? Let's find out. Does she have it? There's a chain opportunity. Yeah, there it is! Okay, we knew it. We knew it was going to happen. It's the right card to hit with the Ash Blossom. Okay, that's not good for Shattenspieler. This might be enough. That Brand of Fusion's going nowhere.
Still have access to the normal summon, however, so the potential for a fusion with the Cartesia is still available. Could also Foolish Burial your Bestial Lubellion, for example, just get some presence into the graveyard to then re-establish your field in the next turn once the lingering effect of the Max C has worn off.
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see exactly how Colossus manages to go into this. We're getting Foolish Burial, okay. Gonna go for Gimmick Puppet, so already going into that thing that you were talking about, straight into that combo.
Discussing time and time again how you needed to access the Granguignol, the Dust Dragon, to then get the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare into the graveyard. Could also just go past that and Foolish Burial.
Yeah, it's a speed run of how to get it into the grave. Oh, we already see that.
Branded Fusion again.
Yes, yes it is. And we see it get added, banished there just to do the effect. So which one are we going to special summon here? Ah, okay. We're going to go straight for our new card that we've just been talking about, which is nice. Makes a nice showcase for us, I guess, Ibris.
Do we see Effect Veiler? Do we see Infinite Impermanence? Do we see something to stop this effect from resolving on the Albion the Sanctifier Dragon?
God, it's a beautiful card. Let's see. We're already activating the effect.
The Nightmare is coming.
The Nightmare is coming. That Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. I've seen Colosser giggle a couple of times at this, knowing exactly what's coming. There it is. It's going over to the opponent's side of the field. Sorry, Colosser. The Gimmick Puppet has come.
And there is the lockout of special summons for the rest of the
That's
turn.
going to be it. The Purple Glow of Doom.
I realize that by not being able to special summon, this poor guy, the dragon champion, doesn't get to come out.
No, he doesn't. We're seeing Peaceful Planet there.
Yeah, Peaceful Planet Calarium, of course, being a good starter for the Monadium, just helping you search through your deck.
So you're going to add one of them to the hand, but how's special summoning going to work when that gimmick puppet's on the field?
In addition, the natural synergy that brings to the deck is the fact that you get to draw and benefit from destroying your own tuners, which is what Monadium are all about.
Mm-hmm. There's the Visa Starfrost coming to the hand.
I have to say, I'm a bit sad that this Albion the Sanctified Dragon means that we don't see Elemental Hero Prisma Hero Lives into
I know,
Visa
because you're a
Starfrost
big fan of your
into
elemental
Monadium.
heroes. We know. But unfortunately, this might not be the day for that. We won't be able to see them being displayed because that Visa Starfrost stands alone against the might of the branded deck.
So, Grand Guignol the Dust Dragon was super appealing for me just because you could use it to get Gimmick Puppet Nightmare into the graveyard, but he's already got that.
Say the name for me again.
Grand Guignol.
Grand Guignol.
Dust
Is that how you
Dragon.
say it?
Yes.
And here we go. Albion the branded dragon.
Albion, yeah.
Now we are seeing the Mirror Jade combo that we usually see with the branded deck.
Again, just really formidable field coming out from...
Oh, never mind. Going into
Schattenspieler
Lubellion
here.
instead. Changing the mind. No. Okay, back to Mirror Jade. No. Back to Lubellion. Schattenspieler, please.
Choices, choices.
You're not making commentating over this match easy. Even he doesn't know. No, it's Mirror Jade now. No. No, it's Dracostapelia now. No. It's actually Mirror Jade. Are you trying to fake me out, Schattenspieler? What's going on?
And here... Yep.
Oh.
Here we see the Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon, finally making an appearance on the field.
And it is quite a lethal card, Mirror Jade.
Really difficult to play around this. Schattenspieler's really established.
Oh, Dribble
okay.
Tactics talent. Okay. Oh, we're probably not going to see Take Control, though, are we?
Maybe you could.
There we go. There we are.
3,000
okay.
into 3,000.
That would be pretty good. You'd be able to wipe the field with that, with most of the threats. Are we going to see a Mirror Jade activation in response, though?
Yeah, the thing is that it has to target the Mirror Jade because Albion the Sanctified Dragon is unaffected by the opponent's card effects.
And then you can crash into it and then light both of them off, but we might see the chain effect here. No. Schattenspieler, please. He's just double-checking. He's double-checking whether this is the right thing to do. Nah,
So
there we
will
go.
it
He is gonna
banish
see the chain.
itself is the question. Or do you banish the Sanctifier Dragon because it's already fulfilled its purpose?
He's gone with Rindbrum. Send that one away.
Yeah, because Albion the Sanctified Dragon already got its effect to resolve, already has the Gimmick Puppet effect on the opponent's side of the field, you can safely get rid of it.
Yeah, but now Mirror Jade is over on Colossus' side of the field, and that's 5,300 attack damage, if my maths is correct.
5,300 is not 8,000, however, so...
That is true, Ibris. I can't deny that.
Irrefutable.
Irrefutable, absolutely. I thought she'd try and do something just to get rid of it. Just remove it from the field. Blazing Cartesia back to the hand in that lovely royal finish as well. But there comes back the terrifying Mirror Jade. Would you read it? Oh, and super polymerization. I think this might be goodbye.
So the summon of the Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous. You have to imagine there's a fusion following this.
You'd like to think so from a fusion heavy deck. No.
Interesting.
Might we be sick? No. No. He likes to leave us guessing, Schattenspieler.
could still resolve the super polymerization.
Very possibly.
Also
Just
very
double
happy
checking.
to see the Lulu Walilith in the extra deck as well.
Say it again.
No.
Please don't make me. There it is, Luluwa Lilith.
hmm
See, I got it. I said it. Why can't you say it?
I did it without the text on the screen.
Good point. Yeah, I had to sound it out slowly.
So you have to imagine that even though Colossa had a really good comeback against an established field like that,
Oh no.
Schattenspieler still has the advantage here.
It does, but at the moment, Colossus still up there with the life points. Oh, we're already getting a monster special summon back thanks to the field spell here. Visa Starfrost has come back, and that's not enough attack to deal with it. Simply crashing into it, no damage.
Yeah. So
Setting that super poly.
and this is just in case something is attempted with the Visa Starfrost.
Which I'm sure he's expecting. Okay, we get into Colossa's draw phase now, and that is this any card? Is this the heart of the cards for Colossa? Probably not with that Mirror Jade effect, stomping any hopes and dreams. We're going to see Titanclad, are we?
It's being sent to the graveyard.
Right, Visa Starfrost is gone. This is a very vulnerable position, but it's for the end of the main phase. That's the end phase. Oh no, this looks like it might be it. Oh, and there's the Ash Blossom preventing it. Excellent. That's what we like to see. Titaniclad not coming back. I've always said Titanclad, but it's Titaniclad, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
I've always said Titanclad. I should learn to read cards better.
Mirror Jade, the Iceblade Dragon. So actually, even if the second Cartesia comes through, it's still not quite enough damage for
No.
Schattenspieler
No, it
to
isn't.
wrap this up.
See exactly what happens. It's impossible to tell with Schattenspieler because he likes to leave us guessing. I was just going to go straight to the battle phase, going to just try and do as much damage as humanly possible. Oh, is he then going to super poly away
Yeah, I believe
everything
so.
and then go for one final attack? Okay. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. 1,300 left on the life points meter there. And then we're going to see the activated effect of super poly, and that means we're going to see a new fusion. Grand Guignol? Did I say it right?
Guignol.
Grand Guignol. God.
The Dusk Dragon. So essentially, when I'd seen this previously, it was just to get the key cards into your graveyard. Here it's to seal the deal on the duel.
Here it is. The final blow. Send any card to the graveyard. Pick a card, any card, Schattenspieler. At this point, we both know it doesn't matter, but you'll send Bestial Lebellion. And there it is, a direct attack for the final blow. 2-0 to Schattenspieler, our wonderful European content creators dueling with our new additions to these decks. And what an expert display of the branded deck that was.
Yeah, really exciting to see how reinvigorated that branded deck has become with the addition of Albion the Sanctifier Dragon and other really cool cards in the newest selection pack.
It really was very exciting to see that, because that to me makes me now want to go back home and rejig my branded deck, which probably gathering a bit of dust until today, when I'll now take it down off the shelf, take it out of one of the many deck boxes I have in my list. But I'm disappointed though, obviously for Colossa on the one hand, but I'm disappointed that we didn't get to see a lot of the Manadium displays that we could have seen from some of the new cards in that.
Yeah, it looked promising when the field spell was able to bring back the Visa Starfrost from the graveyard. However, again, no synchro summon to be had due to the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare.
Which, as you've said multiple times throughout the stream, is an absolutely lethal card, and we saw it in action not once, but twice.
It's a win condition.
It certainly is a win condition, and boy, did it put Colossa on the back foot. But that, like we said, that was such a great display of those cards and those decks. And this entire show has been to talk about everything that's recently come out, as we've said. So this has been a lot of fun for us. We really enjoy being able to do this broadcast. We love getting to talk about Master Duel and to show off some of what's come, to maybe invigorate some of what you guys might be able to have. Remember, not only do we have a great giveaway over on X or Instagram at Yu-Gi-Oh! Card EU, where you guys can win an amazing mat, the Egyptian god mat with the alternate artwork. But right now, you can go on and join our 25th anniversary celebration on Master Duel. You can buy some of the bundles, like the Slifer the Sky Dragon bundle, where you can get the card, you can get the protectors, you can get the icon.
Dual field.
And a dual field.
And in addition to that, you can log in and get Obelisk the Tormentor and 1,000 gems for free,
which you can use to maybe build some of the 2 decks that you've seen today. But on top of that, you can also get the Winged Dragon of Ra in one of those secret packs. That's always something worth trying. See if you can get your luck by drawing on those. But that's going to be it from Ibris and I. Thank you so much to all of you for watching, and make sure you guys do go and log on to the game right now to make sure you claim your 1,000 gems. Put those to some good use. Maybe build an exciting God deck with those new cards and send it to us over on X. And also, once more, be sure to go and check out on X to make sure that you can be a part of that amazing giveaway. Thank you very much for watching this show. It's been great, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.